Neil, welcome to the cave.
Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you're here today. We get to talk about your project. The viewers and listeners are tuning in about your new sci-fi series, Genzeroes, which I know nothing about NFTs, so you're gonna have to tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, everyone always starts by asking that question. So NFTs are the future of digital IP protection. It doesn't matter if you're a photographer, an artist, a movie maker, a musician. If you want your intellectual property to be protected, you're going to start releasing them on NFTs. So they're non-fungible tokens, they're on the blockchain, but for the consumer, it's like a collectible or it's like a DVD. It's just going to be this new digital file format. That the second piece of what NFTs are is it's a connection between the artist and the community. So when we release Genzeroes and you go, pick up a watch pass or we give out a watch pass, one of the big misconceptions is that they have to be huge money and everything else. They don't. Then there's a connection made between us. I can see who has them. We can communicate. You can actually get way more a way more immersive experience within the product. But yeah, that's really what NFTs are. They're IP protection and a connection between the community and the artist.
Well, I've seen online, everything like it. I do a little crypto investing, not too much, but it's like everybody's into the NFT all of a sudden. There's still, the bit tokens and everything, but it's more like a lot of even celebrities or in the entertainment industry, they're all about NFT lately.
Yeah, no, there's certainly been an influx. And I think one of the things that's interesting is, the NFT community sometimes rejects those projects because they're just look like a cash grab, right? Yeah. So, I don't know how familiar you are with kind of the idea of Web 3.0. So everyone in this space, the idea is that Web 1.0 was when the internet started, it was AOL online, it was broadcast one to many. Web 2.0 was really like Facebook, Instagram, kind of this idea of the platforms. But the problem with Web 2.0 was they own all your stuff. You put something on YouTube, you don't own it. You put some stuff on Facebook, you don't own it. On Spotify, less than 1% of the artists get 90% of the money.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with play count, right? It's deals they structure and all these things that happen on the backside. So what Web 3.0 is it's going to be this thing that empowers creators. You will start owning your stuff. So if people, if you want to sell things or even just share them in different ways, you will actually have that connection, not YouTube, not these other pieces. So what Web 3.0 does though, is as people make that move. So for example, going back to buying music, because again, if I'm a young artist, a musician, I'm trying to come up, and I make an album, the only way I can make money is by selling CDs and touring. And right now, Spotify doesn't support the young artists. They're like, go listen to Taylor Swift, go listen to the new top 40, right? But, a lot of your listeners are going to say well, I don't want to go start paying for music again. But when it comes down to it, what they're going to get to pay for is a better experience. And one thing that we believe with not only Genzeroes, but HAWKEYE, is that we have to make our experiences that much better if we're going to bring people from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0. So things like with Genzeroes, if you have one of our NFTs, you're going to actually get to help decide how the series gets made, what characters you like, where it's going. Even simple things like what are they wearing in the episodes or really, really interesting approaches. Part of the way we're telling our stories is through comic books. So you'll be able to see hey, I really want to hear about that character. Where did they go? And follow these people in different ways. But beyond that as well, your NFT can give you experiences imagine you just went and watched the battle scene where the general came out and he gave this rousing speech. We cut it together the way we want. With your NFT, you could log in, go into our metaverse and literally choose to watch that from somewhere else. Watch it as his captain behind him and literally have other captains whispering and about all these different people. It's going to be am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So imagine when you're at a party or something, someone's giving a speech and your buddy leans over in your ear and goes, well, this fucking guy, right?
Yeah.
Same thing. You'll be able to move yourself around the stage and get these completely different experiences that you don't get just from a regular TV show. So it's really going to give artists, it's going to push the envelope both on what gets made, but how the audience connects with it.
Now, how did you come up with this idea for this show? You know, how long did it take you to brainstorm everything?
Well, so this is where I'm a huge nerd, man. Like I've been in tech my whole life. And I'm also a huge sci-fi nerd. So when we sold the NFT project that, we raised about $6 million in 37 minutes. We have a really passionate community. We wanted to give them more value for what they bought. So we had created these robots that we call the Gen X's. As I said, there's 10,000 of them. They sold out. But we needed a backstory for them. We needed them to have more than just, okay, it's this cool looking 3D robot that you can be in the metaverse. Yeah. So I called my friend Aleks Paunovic he's on Snowpiercer, he's on HAWKEYE. He's a major star. I've known him for 15 years though. And I said to him, when I look at the two communities, there's a lot of similarities between the NFT community and the sci-fi community, right? But they're both huge nerds that they all like promoting and supporting projects they're really fond of. And when they get into something, they really get into it. But the last part about the two of them is they're both really good at sussing out fakes or gimmicks. So we couldn't just take like an NFT project and say, oh, we're sci-fi now. And we couldn't just like take sci-fi and try to bring it to the NFT community because they'd be like, no, that's not an NFT thing. So we had to make sure that we did it in a really authentic way. So I connected with Aleks and we sat down and we brainstormed for a while. And we knew we had to, if we were going to live up to that promise, we had to hire the right writers. So we hired Matt Venables and Jeremy Smith. They've come in and written an incredible story. And as that was kind of taking shape, we started casting for it. And we got people like Paul White, formerly Big Show from WWE, Tomo Pennicott, and Candice McClure from Battlestar Galactica, Richard Harmon and Bethany Brown from The 100. Just incredible actors because of the story. Like they read the story and they're like, "Hey, this is pretty cool. We're going to come be part of this." And so the project really took shape organically. But it was something that is going to pay homage to both the science fiction community and the NFT community. So I think people are going to be blown away when they see it.
Yeah. Well, so I watched the trailer twice, and right away when you get from the trailer, it's like futuristic, future Game of Thrones on steroids. That's what I felt like.
Love it. Yeah,
and it is.
Does
that sound right?
It's 10 factions that exist 200 years in the future, 200 years from 2022, and so of course it's 2222, which was too much fun to pass up. An alien race had come this year and they kind of devastated the planet. Humanity pulled together and did what humanity, we were fighting together, preparing for the aliens to come back. Problem was the aliens didn't come back. So we're really playing with this concept of world pulls together to fight an enemy doesn't come back, human nature takes over, and we get split back into these new factions with new drawn borders, but of course with a little bit of cool new technology. And it really explores what happens to a world that emerges from devastation. And of course there's a lot of things that harken back to everything we've had with COVID, where what happens when this world emerges to this new reality, and some of the social norms have changed. So it's really it's very topical and relevant as well.
Now, what was the plan? How many episodes are you planning to release for the season, and how long is each episode?
No, it's a great question. So we're calling them chapters right now. And the reason is we wanted to provide enough, such a high level of production quality that we didn't have the budget to do a full, 10 episode, 12 episode series. Okay. So what we're doing is everybody from the director to the cast and crew, they all took scale, like the lowest amount they could legally to participate, because we're all seeing the back end and where this is going to go. And we're releasing, the plan right now is to release 10 chapters. Each one's between like 5 and 8 minutes. Okay. But between me and you and your listeners, we've had a lot of interest of people thinking that maybe we just go straight to series. So we filmed 4. Each one of the four introduces one of the different faction leaders, and by extension, their faction. And we're really excited to release those. And then based on a couple of meetings we have coming up in the next couple of weeks, we'll make the decision of either we'll continue and do the remaining 6 and introduce those faction leaders, or we'll look at making this a lot bigger.
Wow. Now, how long did it take you to film each chapter, and where did you film it? I read somewhere like green screens, but was that it? Just everything was on the green screens, or was it actually like out at a
No,
studio?
you know what, green screens are cool for certain things, but we wanted this to kind of be a dark,
Okay.
kind of have a little bit of a visceral, think like Christopher Nolan's Batman. We wanted to be realistic and have that to it. So we filmed everything with live action.
Wow.
We did explore, we looked at the options of green screening or even LED screen walls, but we thought what was best for our storytelling was filming it live. So we had 4 sets. We filmed it in Vancouver. We're very, very lucky. Like, Vancouver is such a sci-fi town, right? The X-Files, Battlestar Galactica, Continuum. And we filmed it in town. The only guy we flew in was Paul White. And we filmed it a couple weekends ago. It's in the editing room now. It's with special effects right now. I mean, there are some special effects. I mean, what's sci-fi without some special effects? Right? But yeah, man, it was very cool. So it's coming together.
Yeah. So from what you've seen so far, what's your reaction to it?
Oh, I've been blown away, dude. The third episode especially, and one of the reasons that one's really special for us was we thought we had solved a couple of problems around how we're going to film it. We had to be really creative last minute. And the acting in that one, I mean, like, I'm not kidding. So we filmed a bunch. They're all excellent. Like, again, the actors are killing it. But that one, just like, we all stood up and cheered after the first take. We've got a couple actors. They're actually getting announced in deadline today, so I don't think they've come out yet. When are you going to air?
Probably in a few days.
Okay, so as long as you promise me right now that you're not going to announce it, but we've announced, or we're about to announce, Nicole Munoz and Praneet Akilla.
Wow.
These are 2 young actors that are so talented. We were lucky to get them. Like, we had to negotiate with their agents, convince them that this was a real thing, that like wasn't just an NFT project. Like, Praneet and Nicole are going to be absolute stars. You have to go look them up afterwards. They've both done a bunch of things. Praneet was in, I can't remember what it's called. Becoming a new one. Nancy Drew and a series of other things. Nicole was part of Van Helsing. So they've kind of been on the rise, but we're hoping that we're going to be their breakout moment, because they are. We were lucky to get them, and I think they're going to be huge stars. So yeah, feeling really. I'm really confident that the community is going to enjoy it. I mean, I don't want to say we're not the next Game of Thrones. If people enjoy it and they love it, that's really what we're heading for. But I think that what we've produced has the potential to be really to surprise a lot of people.
Now, you mentioned Paul White too. Like, how did you guys approach him? How did you get him involved in this project?
Oh, dude, this is a great story. So we, Alex and Paul worked together previously on a couple projects, and they just remained friends. And we were sitting down talking about the role of Thatch, which is, so Alex is the head of the Aurora clan, and his right-hand man is Thatch. And as we were reading the character, Alex is like, who'd be perfect for this is Paul. Like, Paul, just the way the character works, everything that's imbued in this guy. So he said, do you think we can get him? He's like, I don't know if you don't ask, right? So we texted him, and 30 minutes later, we were on a Zoom call and we were pitching him on it. And he's a huge sci-fi fan. So he was like, I'm in, guys, whatever you need. I'll come up for, a couple of days. We'll film this. We'll see where this goes. So we were so jazzed. Wow. The next day, we're all sitting around the table again, doing some work, and the phone starts ringing and says, Paul White. Alex, holds up. And honestly, Elias, my heart sank. I was like, he's talked to his agent. His agent has said, like, dude, you're not doing this NFT project. And it was the exact opposite. He literally got on the phone and he's like pitching us ideas. Like, have you guys thought about this? And what about this? Because we'd sent him the scripts, and he was digging into, like, what about this technology? And how are you guys dealing with this? And like, what have the aliens left? And he's been so into it, and he's helped grow the project that we invited him to be a producer.
Wow.
And he's brought so much value, not only in his feedback and his thoughts as we develop everything, but, you know, another thing I'll be honest with, when we signed him as producer, I was like, great, you know, he's got a huge audience, he'll help get some eyeballs to it. There was a part of me that was like, I don't know, am I just going to get this wrestler that overacts, and, you know, am I getting the big show? He is such a talented actor. He came in and he's, you know, comes from being an athlete, right? He's so focused on doing a good job. He came in prepped and ready. I think people are going to be surprised. I think people are going to see a side of him that is really impressive.
I was going to say, he's had practice. He had a show on Netflix.
Yeah, that's right. The Big Show, the Big Show. Like,
So now, what's the plan? Like, is this going to get released on your website? Is it going to be on YouTube, on a streaming platform?
Yeah, so great question. Go to our website, check it out, genzeroes.com. So genzeroes.com. We are, so the really interesting thing about NFTs and what they're going to do to disrupt the entertainment industry is when you think about the timeline for something, right? It starts with, currently, it starts with you and I have an idea, we go pitch it to someone in Hollywood, at Netflix or Amazon, and that guy or gal decides yes or no if it gets made, right? And then it goes to, let's go, say it goes to theater, you're paying $25 to go watch it in theater, and you're paying to watch it video on demand, then it goes to streaming. What NFTs are gonna allow, and what we've done, is the community funded this. They said they wanted to see it. So we're going to produce this thing, or we have produced it, that only they will be able to see through our website if they have one of our NFTs. Okay. So you're going to have to hold one of our NFTs. As I said off the top, there's a price point for everybody. If you want to come in, and if you're super into sci-fi and you think this could be a big deal and you want to get one of the early collectibles, like 3D printed masks or whatever else, that's level is available. Or it's like, if you just want to get a watch pass and come in and watch the episodes and have a say on how these things get made, you know, and it's less than $20, you can do that. And then because of that, you get to be part of this project that grows and shape it. And it's going to be so much more immersive than just a show that you see through anything else. So it'll start on our website, end of March, beginning of April. And then I have a feeling you'll be able to see it a bit broader than that, sooner than later.
That's awesome. Lastly, how can the viewers and listeners find you on social media and any other information that you can give them?
Yeah, please. I'm on social media. I think everywhere. I'm Steamo16. I used to play hockey, so 16 was my number. My last name kind of shortened, so STEAMO16 @ and that's kind of my, you know, whichever platform you're on. Yeah, but yeah, man, we're really excited. I think the other thing that we really try to do is if anyone has any questions or any, you know, ping us. We all answer. Even the actors have been, you know, they're so excited about their answering fans and getting into this. So let us know.
Neil, this was great. Thank you for coming on, and can't wait to check out the show.
No, man. Hey, I really appreciate your time. I can't wait to do it as well.